Laser sights can deter threats and aid in quick target identification, enhancing your ability to protect your family, home, and country. Crimson Trace, making laser sights standard equipment. Learn more at crimsontrace.com.
This is Tom Gresham's Gun Talk, now available on iTunes and other podcast clients, and on the free Gun Dealio smartphone app for iPhone and Android. Feel free to call Tom now at 1-TOM-TALK-GUN or 866-825-5486, or email Tom at guntalk.com. Now, once again, here's Tom.
All right, back with you. A lot of things going on in the Second Amendment front. A lot of things going on the national level, state level, and even cities, as we've been talking about. And, of course, people are buying guns, continue to. Now, gun sales are down. There's no doubt. And let's see. Gun companies have been laying people off. Vista, which is Federal Cartridge, CCI, been laying some people off. I personally, based on absolutely nothing more than my gut feeling, I think that the sales probably have already turned around, starting to come back up. And I think that by mid-year, things will be back to where they were before. I think people just kind of are catching their breath. A lot of folks are just scared to death that Hillary Clinton would be elected, and we know, and she simply declared us to be her enemy. She declared gun owners and the NRA to be her enemy, and she said, the question was asked, what enemy are you proudest of? And she said, the NRA. That's you and me. Wow. Is there any wonder that she was defeated? And a lot of Democrats voted against her. But having said all that, there's a ton of activity going on right now. And because it's probably not, they're not going to get their gun control stuff done on the federal level, they're working on the state level. But that's okay, because we're working the state level also. And when it comes to Second Amendment, it's not just about guns. And to explain that, let me bring in my friend Doug Ritter from Knife Rights. Doug, when we say the Second Amendment is not just about guns, what are we talking about?
We're talking about knives, of course. The Second Amendment doesn't say firearms. It says arms. And we're proud to be the second front in the defense of our Second Amendment.
How old is Knife Rights now?
We just passed the 10-year mark.
Cool.
Decade old as of December.
Amazing, and just incredible. And let me just put this out there. I am one of the directors of Knife Rights. I've known Doug for many, many years. Respect him tremendously. And when he twisted my arm and never let go, I said, "Sure, I'll be happy to volunteer for that. Let go, please."
and could you imagine when we first started this up 10 years ago that we'd be sitting here today celebrating the 12th state that we've gotten rid of a switchblade ban in? I mean, that's just amazing.
Well, everybody said that's not possible in the current conditions. There's no way you're going to be able to do this even in one state. Now it's 12 states. And I guess, you know what we ought to do? If you would, please, explain why it's important to get rid of the switchblade bans, because it's not just automatic knives. It starts to capture a lot of what we carry every day. Well,
certainly. The issue basically boils down to freedom, but the fact of the matter is that people are arrested for knives all over the United States that aren't switchblades or gravity knives, but which the law enforcement or prosecutors are trying to call switchblades or gravity knives. I mean, the biggest problem we have in that regard is New York City, where over 70,000 people have been prosecuted in the last 12 years simply for carrying common pocket knives that you or I, most of us, carry every day. They aren't. I want to make sure people understand.
I want to make sure people understand. We're talking about if you can open your knife with your thumb or with one hand or with a flip of the wrist, you can get arrested and prosecuted in New York for that, for just a regular old pocket knife, something that you and I wouldn't think twice about. And more than 70,000 people prosecuted for that, and we have an ongoing lawsuit there. But we did, okay, tell them where we just won again.
Colorado, where you wouldn't expect the 2A issue to gain traction, but Governor Hickenlooper signed our bill to rid Colorado of their absolute ban on automatic knives. They were one of 9 states remaining where there's no way at all for a civilian to legally own a automatic knife. And come this August, when it goes into effect, Colorado will join the list of states without restrictions on everyday carry of switchblades. Manufacturers, Spyderco will be able to produce switchblades, automatic knives in golden, which they have been banned from doing till now. So, I mean, it's a tremendous victory for us, and I think it's worth noting that, you know, we like to think of this as a 2A issue, as a Second Amendment issue, but our bills get support from the other side of the aisle as well. The bill in Colorado was supported by the ACLU, for example.
Okay, why is that?
Because for civil rights organizations like the ACLU or the NAACP, or for that matter, the NRA and Knife Rights, also civil rights organizations, it becomes a criminal justice reform issue. It is their constituents, their supporters, who are most often arrested and harassed for carrying a simple pocket knife. And so it works very well to reach across the aisle, get them involved. They recognize it's an issue, and they're beginning to understand that this is a bigger issue. It's the same arguments we use for guns, but for some reason these folks seem more comfortable when we apply those arguments to knives rather than firearms.
Okay, so we've gotten 12 states to repeal the switchblade laws. We have preemption laws in how many states now?
10 states now.
10 states where the cities cannot pass knife control laws. That has to go through the state, so we don't have this patchwork quilt of laws where the law changes every time you go into a new city or cross an invisible line. So what is the next front? What are we working on for knife rights in the country?
Well, the next front is in D.C., where I just spent a week on Capitol Hill lobbying for our Knife Owners Protection Act, H.R. 84, which this year includes the repeal of the 1958 Federal Switchblade Act. It's finally time we got rid of this. We got the right president. We got the right Congress, we hope. And it's time for it to go away.
Okay. All right, we'll work on that. Now, I have to ask you, a few weeks ago, you were, I think it was in Arkansas, and people want to know, what do you do when you're in a hotel and all of a sudden you hear shots fired? What? Tell me what happened on this thing. I mean, it's like, holy smoke.
Yeah, I was at the Art of Steel knife show in Little Rock, staying in the Marriott downtown, and getting ready to go to bed, and all of a sudden shots fired, very close. Turns out they were 40 feet away. You grab your Glock and you get behind the bed and you just wait until they clear.
Yeah.
It definitely gets the blood going, I will tell you that. And you don't go right back to sleep when it's all over.
So for all those times when you're traveling and you're checking your pistol and you're thinking, oh, man, this is a pain, I don't know if I really need to do that, this one time you're going, holy cow, I am so glad that I had this with me.
Absolutely. It is a pain to travel with a firearm. Some of the airlines are trying to make it even a bigger pain. But the fact of the matter is that that's your defense. I mean, people ask me what kind of knife I carry for self-defense, and I tell them I carry a Glock for self-defense. The knife is backup, but it's mostly just a tool I use every day. It's
so true. How do people find out more about knife rights?
At kniferights.org. Please go check it out. We are the second front.
Okay. I'm going to give you 30 more seconds. Tell them, can you talk about the sweeps, the giveaway this year yet?
I can talk about it. We've got some incredible rifles. We got a $15,000 knife, a $6,000 knife. It's all going to launch in about 2 weeks. Winner's choice. You get drawn, you get to pick your prize. So stay tuned, and I'm sure you will let everyone know about the incredible prizes.
We will do that. Doug Ritter, Knife Rights, thank you so much. You take care, my friend. All right, open lines, 866-TALK-GUN. We'll get you in here. I'm Tom Gresham. Be right back with more Gun Talk.
Get the fastest semi-automatic trigger for your AR rifle with Franklin Armory's BFS trigger. The binary firing system offers a 3-position selector for binary, semi, and safe modes. In binary mode, your AR fires 1 round on pull and 1 round on release. Works in any AR, is easy to install, no paperwork needed. 100% U.S. made, patent pending. The BFS trigger from Franklin Armory. At a dealer near you or at franklinarmory.com.
Are you looking for a place to shoot? The National Shooting Sports Foundation has a great website called wheretoshoot.org. It's the largest database of shooting ranges on the internet. It's also a great resource for shooters where you can find video tips, printable targets, and a lot more. Find it online at wheretoshoot.org. And while you're there, download their free iPhone app. That's wheretoshoot.org.
Hi, this is Tom Gresham from Gun Talk. America is losing critical wildlife habitat at a rate of 1 football field every hour. It's happening on the Louisiana coast, but it's critical to all sportsmen and conservationists. These precious wetlands provide winter habitat for more than 10 million ducks and geese annually, waterfowl that migrate north through dozens of states. Don't shrug it off. Get involved. You can help. Visit vanishingparadise.org.
It's America's favorite .22 rifle. No matter how, where, or what you like to shoot, there's a Ruger 1022 for you. From the carbine to the incredible takedown models, the tactical and target versions, all Ruger 1022 models have the legendary action and detachable 10-round rotary magazine. Whether you're hunting squirrels or tin cans, there's a lifetime of fun in every Ruger 1022 rifle. See them all at Ruger.com. That's Ruger.com.
Back with you, 866-TALK-GUN, or just dial Tom Talk Gun. You know, when I'm in a hotel room, just food for thought here, okay? And I spend more nights than I would care to in a hotel room. I lay out my shoes where I can jump into them. I lay out a pair of pants, and in the pockets of the pants I lay out, with the belt in, the loop, I have my wallet, I have my room key, I have my car key, I have pretty much anything else I need. I have my gun, my pistol, in a holster, sitting on the nightstand, next to my tactical flashlight. If it's a fire alarm, I will jump into my pants, get everything on, jump into my shoes, get my gun, throw on a shirt as a cover garment or a coat, and get out. And by having everything lined up, I'm not walking around trying to figure out where everything is. It's, my keys are over there on the dresser, and no, I want it lined up so I can jump into it. If it's shots fired, like what happened with Doug Ritter, I'm not going out the door. I'm going to do what he did. That was smart. Get behind the bed. Get your pistol, get your light, get behind the bed, wait till you get the all clear. Just wait. Maybe 10 minutes, maybe 3 hours. Wait. Because when you go out there, you lose your cover. If you're behind the bed in your room, if somebody has to come in, if they try to kick in the door or whatever, they have to come through that funnel. We call it the fatal funnel for a good reason. That's why you don't want to be going through there also. You have a position of advantage. Don't give it up. Okay? All right, line 4, John's with us out of West Leechburg, Pennsylvania. Hey, John.
Hey, how you doing, Tom?
Great.
All right, so I broke a promise to myself, and I started casting bullets for my 1911 45 auto.
Okay.
And it's the Lee 225 grain, it's a 225 grain round nose. And I have 2 lubricizer dies. One is from my 4570, and that's 458. I know that's too big. The other one's 454 from my 45 Colt, and I think that's too big also. because when I mic'd a Celler and Bellet jacketed bullet, I'm coming up with 450, 451. Where should I be sizing bullets for the 45 auto?
Well, what do your loading manuals tell you?
Oh, the loading manuals are saying 450, 451, 452, 453.
And here's the thing, they're all right.
Okay.
Therein lies the problem and the challenge and the fun. You end up with several different size dies for your lubricizer, and try different ones and see which one your barrel likes, and then that's what you use, because you will find that your gun's going to shoot better with one of those sizes. So, try the one you have now, see how it works. If you like the way it shoots, don't worry about it, just shoot it. If you say, oh, man, I think I can do better than that, then maybe go to a smaller one. Try that. I mean, they're not that expensive in the first place.
Yeah. You don't think the 454 is a little too big?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know offhand. It has been 30 years since I've cast bullets, so I don't remember all the sizes.
I measured a jacketed bullet at 450.
Forget jacketed bullets.
Okay.
Different animal. Apples, oranges, kumquats. Different thing altogether. Makes no difference. Look it up in a good cast bullet loading manual. I mean, you need a specific cast loading manual. Look it up, see what they're saying, and then start there. But don't mic your jacketed bullets and try to go cast bullets off of that. John, I appreciate it. I know you're going to have fun with it. Bill, line 3 out of Pryor, Oklahoma, got a range report for us. Talk to me, Bill.
Yes, sir. About 6 months ago, I bought a 45 ACP 1911 and bought a box of full metal jackets to practice with and a box of personal defense to carry. And I'd never shot the personal defense until one day I actually needed to shoot something like a varmint, and it wouldn't chamber. And that was my first realization that I was carrying around hollow points that won't chamber.
Boy, aren't you glad that it was just a varmint and not a two-legged varmint?
I think that possum every day. So I go back and talk to the people, and they say, well, you just got to try different ones. And, I really got no answer, and I'm too tight to just go start buying $30 boxes. It won't work. And so I called the people that made the gun and asked them, and they told me Federal Guard Dog. It was made specifically for that, and it will work. Oh. And so I bought a box, and I had to order it, but they got it to me the next day. I've shot one box through it, and without a single jam. It functions every time, all the time, and I'm tickled to death with it. They said it passes every FBI reg. I taped 2 1x4s together, and it wouldn't go through a 2x4. They said on the information it'll go through 3 pieces of sheetrock. So you don't have to worry about things downrange getting injured. It shot through 1 1x4, but not through the second one. And the spread is unbelievable spread. They're about the size of a quarter when you take them out.
Yeah, they really expand. Well, you have just discovered something that I preach about this all the time. People just don't do it. And that is when you get your carry ammo or when you change your carry ammo, and I would submit that you need to go shoot 50 or 100 rounds of your carry ammo through your gun, because a magazine worth doesn't give you enough statistically to tell you, will this combination work? And yes, I know they're expensive. I get that. But, Bill, look, I appreciate the call. Thank you, sir. That's a great range report. A good point. Jim says, also check your carry ammo in all of the mags that you carry. You should mark, you've got practice ammo and practice mags and carry mags. Don't use your carry mags to go out to the range and beat them up. You want to try them. You want to make sure they work. But don't assume that because this ammo works great out of one magazine, that it's going to work out of all your magazines. Well, Tom, it should. Yeah, I agree. It should. And it probably will. And do you want to bet your life on probably? Bill has, I love it. So He thanks that possum. I like that. Pay attention to what Bill experienced here. This is factory ammo, and it should work fine, except in this case it didn't. So are you carrying ammo that you've actually not tested in your particular gun? Is that smart? It's like not packing your own parachute. Well, probably works. Yeah, okay, go with that. Go with that probably thing. Let's see how that works out for you. All right, if you're on hold, don't go anywhere because I just don't quite have enough time to get you in right now. We'll get you in on the backside of this. But we are going to be talking about some things that are going on out in the state of Utah. We'll also get some range reports coming in here. What do you think about lowering the legal age for concealed carry from 21 to 18? Some will say, well, 18, that's teenager, that's too young. Others would say, well, we can hand somebody an M4 rifle and they're over in the sandbox at 18. Okay. And then also we have this news out of North Dakota. The governor has signed the bill. North Dakota gets constitutional carry, permitless concealed carry. This just keeps growing, this whole permitless constitutional carry, if you will. And we get back to that whole deal of smart idea, good idea. Do we care about the training? We had another incident. A security guard jumps on a woman who was stealing stuff, and a quote-unquote good Samaritan comes along and kicks the security guard in the head. Once again, I offer this thought. If you're not being attacked, there's a really good chance you don't actually know what's going on. There's a very good chance you don't know who the good guy and the bad guy is on this. Well, somebody hit, there's a man on top of a woman. Yep. But in this case, the woman was the bad guy. Never thought of that. Hintot, I never thought of that. You might want to just be a good witness, or you might want to go up, but you may not want to attack either party, because in this case, the Good Samaritan attacked the wrong one. 866-TALK-GUN. We'll be right back with more gun talk.
Gun Talk encourages you to support the local sporting goods store, gun stores, ATV dealers, and other local businesses in your area who advertise on this station and Gun Talk. Only together can we protect our rights. You're listening to Washington Times opinion page regular contributor Tom Gresham.
All right, don't forget, go to guntalk.com/win to see how you can win this stunning $9,500 package of guns, ammo, holsters, steel targets, all kind of stuff. Guntalk.com/win, and don't forget, be sure to download Gun Dealio, our smartphone app. Stick it on your smartphone and start saving money today. Gun Dealio. Let's go to Tim, line 4. He's in East Helena, Montana, with a great story. Hey, Tim.
Good evening. Just two things real quick. We were coming home last weekend from the hills, and we were hearing you talk about people with empty guns and training. And she kind of looked at me and said, maybe I should. She's got a concealed carry permit, but she figured that was good enough. And
this is your wife?
My wife, yeah. So with that being the case, I said, okay, hon, I've taken Pat Goodale's course 1 and 2 over the years. And it has helped me, plus about 30 years in the military with a lot of schools there. But she just carries it, just little Lady Smith 357 for grizzly bears to scare them away if they ever come charging at us. But she said, maybe I'll start going to the range or look for a class. So I want to appreciate you talking that up.
Oh, that's great. Congrats. That's a good move.
Yep. And the other one, you had almost your last call, you had an Army sniper call in saying, he was taught to let half his air out, and the Marines are taught to let all their air out. And I think I've got the answer to that because you said you didn't know.
Okay.
Because I'd gone to the Army Sniper School back in '89, and they told us at that time to exhale. It depends on your instructor primarily, But what we were taught by the old guard and all Army shooters that I associated with is you let all your air out. Because then when you're in your natural respiratory aim, you've got your natural point aim. You've got your natural respiratory pause of 3 to 5 seconds. So with all your air out, you can concentrate and let it go. And if you let half your air out, you change your natural point aim. Example, like I said on the email, is if you inhale, your rifle will dip because your lungs change that point aim.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And when you exhale, you bring it back up. So that's why you want as much consistency as you can get.
That's it. Just trying to find the same point every time. And if you say halfway, it might be 40%, it might be 60%, it might be 50%, and it's not going to be repeatable, whereas getting rid of all of it is probably closer to repeatable. Tim, thank you so much. Congratulations. Add a girl to your wife. Go get her that training. Now, I got to get to a friend of mine, Clark Aposhian, he is the chairman of the Utah Shooting Sports Council out there in Salt Lake City. Actually taking a break right now from training a class. Clark, what kind of class are you teaching right now?
Well, we're certifying some armored truck drivers today. So
can I come play? I want to go play with a truck. I want to play with an armored truck.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got the rifle, the pistol, and no, actually we're not doing rifle. We're doing pistol and shotgun. So lots of fun, and it's good training out here at beautiful St. George, Utah, where it is in the low 70s today. No wind. It's just beautiful out here.
Oh, that's fabulous. Okay, you got two things going on in Utah at the same time. I see the governor just signed a bill lowering the legal age for concealed carry to 18. Did I read that right?
Absolutely. What we did is we created a new permit, a provisional 18 to 20-year-old permit that basically takes the same classroom, same background check and everything, and it's always identical to the original permit, other than you cannot carry in K through 12 schools, but you can carry in universities.
Okay, and I guess the line of thinking was, hey, if you can carry an M4 for the United States at 18, why not?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and these are the same folks that can already openly carry without a permit. They can carry in their vehicle fully loaded without a permit. So we're just allowing them the chance to put a jacket over it.
Okay. All right, but this other thing has me scratching my head. What's going on with changing the legal blood alcohol limit for driving, and how does that affect gun owners?
Well, yeah. Utah is not immune to having some interesting liquor laws. So we are once again the first to drop the BAC, the blood alcohol content, from 0.08 to 0.05, and which would give you a DUI. Now, the Utah Shooting Sports Council doesn't take any position on the drinking and driving, but there was an unintended consequence in this, in that the code that is changed is the same code that we use to determine if you are under the influence of drugs or alcohol while carrying a firearm. And as such, it was unintended. We didn't realize it till the last day of the session because I didn't give it much thought because I was so focused on all the other gun bills. Anyway, come to find out, yep, it does.
So what would that mean realistically for someone who is carrying what would it take to get somebody over the 0.05 limit? I guess it depends on what you're drinking and how physically large you are.
Exactly. I mean, it could be, and we've heard from some smaller statured people, which unfortunately are the same ones that are probably going to need to be carrying a firearm anyway, or much more likely to be. It could be one drink to get to 0.05 or close enough to it that you wouldn't want to take a chance. It could literally be one drink.
And so this could affect, this is more than just concealed carry, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. It's essentially if you're carrying a firearm or dangerous weapon, whether it's concealed, whether it's open, whether you have a permit, whether you don't. So this goes way beyond having it in the car. You could be at your own home, literally in your own home, and have that happen. You could be, you could say, you know what, I'm close to 0.05. Maybe I'm there. I'm going to take an Uber or a taxi or a bus home. But you're still committing a crime because you're in possession of that firearm.
So what are you going to do about it?
We're going to fix it. We've already spoken with the sponsor, Representative Thurston, who's a good Second Amendment guy. He didn't realize, And I blame myself for not bringing it up because it wasn't debated in committee or anything. But before it was even signed, he promised that he would work it through during the next legislative session, because it doesn't actually go into effect until the very, very end of 2018. So we have plenty of time to fix it, and he's promised he'll get it fixed.
Okay. And this is a great example of how little things that you may not have been paying attention to can come around the backside and bite you.
Oh, yeah. And that'd be a Class B misdemeanor. You'd at the very least lose your permit. And, you could spend some time in jail for something like this.
Well, I'm glad you caught it. I'm glad you're on it. But it is a heads up for anybody in another state, because here's the thing. This 0.05, other states are going to start trying to do this too. So you need to check your regs in your state when it comes to carrying, whether it's concealed or whatever, to see how that might affect you there.
Good advice.
All right. Thanks, Clark. Get back to your class. I know that they're waiting for you. I appreciate you taking time out for us.
See you later, Tom. Thank you. Goodbye.
All right. Take care. Clark Aposhian, one of the good guys over there in Utah. I tell you what, let's take a quick break here. When we come back, we're open lines. We're looking for your range reports. We had more feedback on the whole carrying a gun with an empty chamber. There's even a holster designed to chamber the round for you when you draw. Don't know if you've seen that. Love to get your thoughts on that. 866-TALK-GUN. Be right back.
We are Aguila Ammunition. We believe that getting the most out of your firearm begins with what you put into your firearm. And that's why we only source the best raw materials to manufacture the best ammunition possible. Ammunition that's reliable and dependable, shot after shot. Ammunition that holds nothing back when it comes to performance, quality, and innovation. Yes, ammunition that your guns will downright devour. Guns are hungry. Feed them at AguilaAmmo.com.
For 36 years, the U.S. Sportsmen's Alliance has been fighting to protect hunting, fishing, and trapping for sportsmen from coast to coast. Today, we are under constant attack from extremist animal rights groups who want to end your ability to hunt in the U.S. Join us to protect our sporting heritage and our way of life outdoors. To join or for more information on how you can help, go to ussportsman.org. That's ussportsman.org.
Attacks happen every day. How will you react? See real people put into real-life criminal attack situations on First Person Defender. Discover what works and what doesn't. Kidnapping, ATM robbery, home invasion, and other attacks. Learn how to save your life and the lives of your family. Get the entire first season on DVD at shopguntalk.com. Get prepared. Shopguntalk.com.
It's pure shooting fun for the whole family. The Smith & Wesson M&P 1522 Sport, a .22 rifle on an AR platform. The new, slim, easy-to-accessorize M&P handguard combined with Magpul M-Bus folding sights help you get shooting right out of the box. Lightweight, reliable. The M&P 1522 Sport from Smith & Wesson. Learn more at smith-wesson.com.
We're back with you. Lots of stuff going on. Let's see. Wow. This one was pretty pointed. The Buckeye Firearms Association, which is a very well-respected gun rights group in Ohio, puts out a piece about what they're calling a shadow group or a false flag group, a fake group, Ohio gun owners. It's part of the National Association of Gun Rights, NAGR. I've had a lot of people writing me and asking me, what about this group? I keep getting emails from National Association of Gun Rights. Just as the Buckeye Firearms Association said in their letter, says we hate to say anything negative about another gun rights group, but I will tell you, this is me speaking. I was at the Gun Rights Policy Conference. I'd never heard anybody speak out against another gun rights group before, and I heard them call snakes and other things. In my view, my personal view, I wouldn't give them a dime. I don't think they do anything for gun rights. I think that they stir things up. I think that they try to scare you into giving them money. And what's happened is they've kind of gotten, I think have gotten found out on the whole National Association of Gun Rights, NAGR, and now they've created a whole bunch of state organizations. Let's see, Iowa, Minnesota, Indiana, Colorado, Mississippi, North Carolina. This is according to the Buckeye Firearms Association anyway. Some other states. I guess the bottom line of this is pick your groups carefully. And when you, especially, let me just say this, especially when you get an email from a group that says, we're the only no compromise group, that always tells me, then we don't get anything done. Really, I'm serious. If you can't compromise in politics, you can't get anything done. Compromise doesn't mean you're giving up your beliefs. It means you understand how to get people to work with you and get things done. And then you don't get it all in one bite, then you come back and get some more, and then you come back and get some more. But when somebody proclaims, we're the only no compromise group, we're the only true group, and then they start bashing the NRA, I go, okay, these guys don't actually do anything. They're just making money. They're trying to scare you. They're trying to say, we're more pure than other groups. So just be careful. You may disagree with me and you may love them and you want to send them money. You know what? Go for it. But I would just say be careful of any group out there. Okay? Just simple as that. Let's see here. Line 4. Let's pick up Glenn out of Shreveport, Louisiana. Glenn, you got a range report?
Well, yeah, not really. I want to know your opinion. I read that the 22 cal is not a good self-defense weapon. I now carry a Taurus 40, but I have the Kel-Tec PMR 30. It's a lot lighter. There's no muzzle rise, and I can get off 10 rounds in under 3 seconds and still have 20 left. What's your opinion on that as a self-defense weapon?
I think it's a fine self-defense gun. It's a little bit large for concealed carry, but the weird part is it's also, as you know, if you have one, they're very lightweight, which is kind of interesting.
Right.
But I think a 22 Magnum is a fine defensive caliber. I would think that would be a really good home or truck gun. What do you think?
Well, I've carried both of them, and it does print a little better than the Taurus, but it's so light. You just don't even know it's there. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about a 22 Magnum here, for those who don't know. The 22 long rifle, basically it's a little bit longer and has more power. You're shooting, in some cases, a heavier bullet. You can get different loads. But there used to not be any good defensive loads, but now there are some defensive loads for the 22 Magnum. And they're, like, as you say, recoil is not bad. I will tell you this, if you shoot it in an indoor range and it's a little bit dark, you get the weirdest muzzle blast out of it. We got some pictures of shooting one indoors. We were over at Kel-Tec, and we're getting a ring of fire. It's shooting flaming donuts, basically. It was really weird. It was so cool. But no, Glenn, I think that's absolutely a fine choice. If you like it, you know how to use it, and you use good ammo, good expanding ammo, no problem at all. Look, I appreciate the call, sir. Let's go to 3. Dick is with us out of New Hampshire. Dick, talk to me about New Hampshire. And really, is it true they don't have a minimum age for concealed carry?
That's correct, Tom. It is strictly up to the chief of police. And besides that, our new Republican governor has just signed constitutional carry here in New Hampshire. That's right. Huh. And I don't know if there's age related to that or not, but some years ago when my son turned 18 years old, he went down and applied for his permit and received it. And, of course, you can't purchase a handgun at 18, so he carried a slip of paper in his wallet, signed by me, that said that he was allowed to carry my firearm.
He had a note from his daddy. I love it. I think it works perfectly. That is that's brilliant. There's always a way to take care of these situations. 866-TALK-GUN. Give us a holler. We're open lines. right, Steve has been very patient with us, and let's get straight to him right now out of Oceanside, California. Steve, what happened to your revolver?
It was 454. I pulled the trigger on it. The primer went bang. The powder did not ignite. The bullet got stuck in the barrel with all the powder left behind the bullet. I wonder if you can help me to figure out what went wrong.
Well, okay. Do we know, first of all, do we know for a fact that there was powder in there?
Yes. When I banged the bullet out, there was a little wad of powder that came out, so a little pellet of powder.
Right. Have you had any problems with... you've shot that load in that gun before, I take it?
This is my reload. So I tried it when I first set up to make it. I made a few of them, shot them. They worked okay. I had 2 failures out of 6.
Well, then we have a problem. Two failures out of 6 makes that an untenable situation. Do you have any more cartridges loaded with that load right now?
I do have more. There's about 50, 60 left, and I guess I need to take them apart.
Yes. Pull the bullets on them, start over. It sounds to me like you need a little bit more powder in there, assuming you're using a powder that is specified in one of the loading manuals. I'm assuming that's the case.
I'm following the recipe. That was 2,400. Loaded on Dillon 650. There's a powder check station in there that checks the powder. I've taken a couple apart, and the couple of the same lot still had the right amount of powder in them.
All right, another question. Are you using the exact primer that is specified in the loading manual?
Yes, the CCI 400.
Okay, because sometimes people will say, well, I couldn't get those, but I've got these and they fit, and that screws everything up because not all primers are the same, even though they are the same size.
Okay.
I would say probably just you're probably kind of at the low end of the powder scale on this, the powder load?
Yes, I work within spec, but at the low end of the amount of powder, yes.
Yeah. Bump it up. What's the amount of powder? What are we talking about? What's the grain weight?
26 grains.
Yeah, jump to about 20, probably 28, because I'm guessing if you start at 26, max is what? Going to be in the low to mid 30s?
I don't remember off the top of my head from the data.
I'm just guessing, but I would say bump it up a couple of grains just to make sure. And I would load 5 and no more, and then see how that works. And then I'm delighted that you figured it out before you pull the trigger again. There's no point in sticking multiple bullets in the barrel. How hard was it to get that bullet out of the barrel?
I was able to get it out with a cleaning rod and banging it down with my palm of my hand, and I did it twice. I cleared the first one out, tried it again. Once I got to the second one, okay, there's a problem here, let's stop. Well, I knew there was a problem on the first one and done with a lot on the second one.
Yep. No, I think you just need to pull the bullets, dump that powder, and start over, and I would increase the load probably 2 grains. In this case, you're basically bumping it up about 10%, close to 10%. I think that's going to make a big difference for you. And also, just double-check and make sure that you're using the right primers. Again, that can really make a difference, especially on something like that. I appreciate that. Good luck with that. Yeah, it's kind of a weird deal. But, when you start loading ammo, you are the quality control person. You have to make sure that every round has powder in it. You have to make sure that when it says, this particular primer, you're not using the same size. Oh, it fits. Yeah, but different primers have different amounts of powder or power. They call it a brisance. And they will ignite the powder at different levels, at different speeds, at different efficiencies. So you can't swap out the primer. You can't swap out the powder. You've got to use the exact recipe. And let me just say this. You say, it's close. And I've been doing this a long time. I get it. But now you're out there, you're a test pilot, and there's no telling what's going to happen, and you have no one to blame if it goes wrong other than you. So just understand what's going on there. When we come back, we're going to talk about holsters. It's getting to be summertime. How about a holster that you can wear and conceal when you're tucked in?